out there. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. It's the interview series that has been coming to you for 9 years now. Can you believe it? 9 years. For 9 years, we have been running Profound Professionals, where we bring industry experts from all over the world that help improve someone's personal life or grow their business. Today we have Dave, and Dave is the author of Captain Set Sail. He is a former corporate leader turned leadership visionary who believes that in a world of constant change, true leadership isn't about control, but the deeply human art of navigation. And I probably also believe that's the art of human connection, right? Where we build relationships and have connections. So welcome to us, Dave.
Thank you, Jess. It's an honor to be on Profound Professionals. What a great show, and the way you are helping the world move towards a better way of living and better way of leading. That's inspiring. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate that. So tell us a little bit about how you turned from this corporate space to leadership visionary, a little bit about your journey.
That's a great question, Jess, because it really goes back to my own experience of finding my why, finding my purpose. And I have been deep down in trenches through my corporate journey in manufacturing, project delivery, operations. And I've sort of felt it firsthand running these multi-million dollar projects and multi-million dollar business units that, you feel this immense pressure of deadlines, the weight of knowing your decisions, but really, at some stage, it hit me hard that, the decisions you make, they impact real people, real
Mm-hmm.
families. And I have been an entrepreneur, launching my ventures and having my share of failures, glorifying failures to some degree. And and I feel that, all those stumbles, all those moments in my time are sort of discovered through that no matter what industry you are, no matter what role you are in, um, if you break it down, leadership, it's all about constant change. It's all about dealing with people and humans and finding all this through my own journey. I've sort of discovered that, now it's my purpose to talk about this leadership in helping clients. And as a consultant, we don't feel that, it's one size fit all plan. It's all
Mm-hmm.
now we feel as a leadership navigator, my mission is to help leaders first of all connect with their own beacon that I talk about, in my book, but mostly that core unshakable values, that how you can define your true north, and once you have defined your true north, how you can translate your true north into your actual meaningful work. And from there you start working on your wayfinder skills. It's your ability to scan horizon, scan how quickly world's changing around us, and embrace change not as a threat, but more so as an opportunity, and cultivate that 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 behavior in your organizations and in your
Mm-hmm.
teams. And lastly, awakening of your inner seafarer, a decisive leader. And by decisive, it doesn't mean that you have to have a strong face, a strong facade, but embracing your vulnerability, embracing your own things that you don't know, and embracing your weaknesses, and yet being capable of making those timely decisions even when you don't have all the information. And that's so much normal in today's world. And as a leader, I feel this is way of me helping other leaders walk through this messy world with real world experiences and navigate this unique voyage, that has strong connection with their purpose and deep sense of humanity and humility.
No, I love that. So, are you just working and supporting people through the book, or are you also providing them one-on-one consulting, or are you doing group membership and trainings, or are you working with corporations inside their programs to help their teams and leadership there? How are you supporting people with this message?
So, as part of this journey, while writing this book, we ended up deciding that, how we are going to translate this work into real world. And I met one of my university cohorts at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign at Geese College of Business. She ended up moving to Australia for life circumstances, and as life happens to all us being humans. And she tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, "This is the perfect timing because what I've been talking about in the book, I need a vehicle to really touch human lives, and that means going and speaking with business leaders, and not just talking about in a theoretical sense, but really translating these core concepts into real world organizations. And now we are talking to a few organizations right now, and it's amazing when you meet these incredibly passionate people who are running these organizations. And when you talk about, but can you tell me why did you start this business? None of them talk about we started because we want to make money. Yes, money and all those things are important. They are the gas you need to get your car going, get your vehicle going as an organization. But they always have a different reason, always a profound 5 layers down connected reason that will give us a sense of why they started what they started, and we are really helping them connect that part of their why to their organization, and in a practical world how they can achieve it.
I love that. That's awesome. So, what's the best way to find you? I know you can be found on LinkedIn, but is there a website or a better place to find you?
Yes, we call our company Purple Spark Advisory. It's purplesparkadvisory.com.au. I've got my own personal website as davechauhan.com. That's dave.chauhan.com.au. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. How about giving everybody a good leadership tip?
The biggest advice I can give is often leaders feel they gotta have everything planned, they gotta have everything solved before they
Mhm.
venture out. Um, but through my own experience, what I can tell is that leadership is not about knowing all the answers. You don't need to have a perfect plan drawn. In fact, you need to have a good enough plan, and good enough plan has certain elements. You gotta decide where you're going, what are the certain milestones, what are the timeline that you will head towards and work towards. But once you have enough information, walk out. The life's all about changes,
Mhm.
and you can't get to your new island without leaving your shore, which means you once you have this good enough plan, you got to set sail. And it applies in business world, it applies in personal world profoundly, in a deep sense.
Mhm. I love that. That's a great tip. All right. How about a nonprofit cause you care about? You out there watching, get typing and put in the comments all the causes that you care about and hit that share button because you know what? If we can spread some awareness about the amazing causes and nonprofits that are in the world, we can encourage or inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent to them, or just know about them in case they personally need them or they know someone in need of the support that that cause provides. So, Dave, what's a cause you love?
First of all, Jeff, I love it. I haven't have been to a few shows now, but nobody talks about this, and it's fantastic because often supporting shows and supporting causes comes generally with a sense of that we're supporting because we got to do something. But I like it the way you presented that it has to be part of your identity sometimes. Um,
Mhm.
and funny enough, last week I received my first badge of doing 50 blood donations from Red Cross across Australia. One of the
Mhm.
organizations I've been doing my fair share to support them. But then I started thinking about when you asked me, it's this question now, and I can think about Cancer Council Australia. I've sort of supported them over the last few years. But one particular cause that change initiatives change is a global organization, but the one I've been supporting for almost 10 years, and through them I have found myself mentors, and work in the field of cultural, racial, and economic divide. What I love about their work is that they have kept me and others who are associated with them, grounded in the global change with personal change and personal journey of honesty, integrity, and willingness to see humans as humans, without what their cultural background is, what their racial background is, what their economic position in the society is.
Mhm.
And in Australia, they have been working quite a lot with our challenge of still assimilating and partnering with Aboriginal and Indigenous societies. So I
Mm,
feel in a world that's so polarized, their
mm.
mission is basically fostering connection and understanding humans, which has become more vital than ever. And that sort of it resonates with my own belief
For
and my
me
sense of
too.
leadership as well.
Well, me too. Can you repeat the name because you blipped out for 1 second, but what's the name of that cause?
It's called IOFC, Initiatives of Change. Um,
Initiatives of change. I love that. And you know why? Because I've been saying for years, we're all earthlings, right? So it doesn't matter what our, what our faith is, how we feel spiritually, who we choose to spend our lives with, or what our love is, or where we come from, or what our color is, or what language we speak, or where on the map and the planet Earth we come from. We're all earthlings. And so we should all love and support one another for the success of our planet and our globe and fellow earthlings,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
I'm even open to any nice aliens that want to fly into a spaceship our way, as long as they're nice to us.
And one day I think we'll have to face them. And if that happens, we'll have to face them as humans. And I think
As
at
a
that point,
planet.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We have a lot better a chance together, and we also have to be careful because robots still might take over the world with AI, right? So we have to unite as humans.
That's right. I think we have to tap into our deep humanness now. Yes,
That's
I
right,
agree.
more than ever. I love that. That's wonderful. Okay, so how about I'm a book fanatic. I'm a bookaholic. They're all behind me. You can see. So a book. If you're out there and you're listening, and we're so glad you are, thank you for joining our show. Type in the comments and put the book you've written, or maybe a book that inspired you with your personal life or your business. We want you to get typing. So, Dave, we're going to talk about your book in a minute, but tell us a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business outside of yours.
Look, over the years and especially in last decade and a half, I have become books fanatic, and I sometimes feel for $20, $30 or whatever you pay to get a book or acquire a book, is the best thing you can get, because you can get deep with the author at your own will, at your own time, and you can almost have a deep conversation with their thoughts and their best thoughts. So thinking about this question, I think the one that comes to my mind is Man's Search of Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
Mm,
Um, and it's a profound, deep human book, because Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, he discovered through his own journey that, people can endure unimaginable suffering, like,
mm,
things that you can't imagine. You yourself can endure through it once you find your sense of purpose, that why you're living and why you're here for. And that idea is deeply human to me, because it sort of reinforced my own belief. It's structured, and it shaped my own leadership belief, that leadership is not about profits and metrics. Um, it's about instilling that sense of purpose and connecting people, connecting your teams, connecting people who care about you, and people who rely on you to with something bigger than ourselves, something bigger than themselves. And I think it gave me a language and conviction to instinctively feel that we all have leadership as a responsibility. It's not the position, it's not the title. Um, it's us feeling leadership in those moments in time when it can impact someone's life, and how you can make that happen, and how it can give you ability to take this giant responsibility, is when you are connected to your own purpose. And that the book says it all. I still read it whenever I can, sometimes just flick through pages and read a page or a chapter when I can.
I have such a hard time facing anything. I've heard about that book before, and I haven't been able to bring myself to read it yet because I can't even watch the movies, about. I mean, I have watched some movies about the topic, but um, it's just so. And I live in DC, and they have a museum, and I just I guess my heart is so sensitive that I feel so much weight of the pain that I almost feel like it pulls me to my knees. I can't stand. It's so hard. And I just feel such compassion for the awful things that occurred there. And um back to being earthlings, man, I just that's something I have never been able to wrap my mind around, is anyone being unkind to anyone for the sake of unkindness. My husband thinks I'm a big baby, but I can't even watch, like, if there's a torture scene on TV or something, like I cover my eyes. I'm like, no, I can't look. I can't. I don't want to watch this because it's just too. I just don't want any human being to ever have harm. So
And yet, um, your purpose can give you enough power to get through this. A few years ago, I can't remember how long, we went to Sydney's Holocaust Museum, and
mm,
what they've done is they have these life-size screens now,
mm,
where they have essentially, because a lot of that generation is now, it's end of their life. Like we coming to the point where we will lose this generation. So what this particular museum has been doing is they have this project where they're taking these humans and their experiences, who have felt this pain, have gone through this suffering, into life-size videos.
mm.
And they have given them some AI sort of database about their answers, and you can ask questions. You can have real life conversation with a Holocaust survivor,
Oh,
sitting in the room, and it's profoundly life altering experience, because you are having, and I know, it's not having a conversation with the real person, but to some degree it's surreal to ask a question and say, can you tell me that about that day when you got caught into this, and they will
yeah.
explain vividly, and it will hit you hard.
Man,
uh,
the amount of tissue to blow your nose and wipe your eyes that have to be in those places.
this museum will be spending
Many,
significant
many,
amount of
many
money on it.
boxes.
Yeah, I think that they have a capital expense line on their sheet about
Yeah, I think they should
price.
invest in, hold some stock and make their own tissue brand, because oh my gosh, so sad. Well, our hearts go out to, and we're inspired by the survivors, and those people, and we send that loving moment of silence for all kinds of people who have faced war, the twin towers, the 9/11s, the Holocaust, any of those hardships as earthlings that we have faced. um, we send our love and our hearts out to them. All right. So that was a heavy book you shared there. So, how about your book? Let's talk about what inspired you to write your book, the journey of writing your book, why people should buy your book, why they should give it to their friends as gifts, who they should buy it for. What's all the things about Dave's book?
So the book's called Captain Set Sail. The title comes from, it's a bit childish in a way, because I have always admired stories of navigation and sailors, and watched movies and everything. At some stage during last year, I and this was about when I was finishing my MBA. I felt like, why did I start this journey? And this was about my MBA. There's a story behind there too, because about 2 or 3 years ago now, I was approached for a position of CEO at Bendigo Food Share. They're a local food charity, and to going through the interview process, I had this moment where I felt that there is a deep amount of pressure and responsibility with this job. And this was almost about 2 years or three, or sorry, 2 months and 3 months into interviewing process. And this wasn't for me to look at the numbers and how many people were relying. This was something deeper, and I felt it that I think I need to go and invest in my own journey of studying, because if I'm saying responsibility or yes to responsibilities like these, I have to understand what's the human implication of work I'm doing.
Mm,
um, and that's when I felt this wasn't the first time. It had happened throughout my career, throughout my upbringing, where I have felt this immense pressure, um, where you go 5 layers down and you understand, wait a minute, where is the actual human impact of this work that you're doing? So fast forward, I ended up joining Illinois MBA program, fantastic program. And the reason I joined this was because they kept on flashing this business on purpose. And I'm talking about this public Ivy League university who's at top of their game. And they teach what a masterclass MBA program will teach. But then they say, yes, but your purpose. It's all
Mm.
about purpose. And towards the end of my MBA journey, I felt, okay, why did I start this journey? And there were chatters about organizational restructure, and to me, it felt like a perfect timing. And with a bit of help and encouragement from my wife, we sat down, we cried a little bit, and we said, okay, if I have to do this, I have to first of all let my safety go off. And that was me quitting my job in corporate world. Um, and then I started writing this stuff. I'm not an author type. I don't see myself as an author or somebody who would ever write a book and who even knew how to write a book. Um, so towards end of in November and starting December, I started documenting all this stuff. Going back to on my own experiences, and I have this good habit of journaling. So reflecting back, this happened when I was having this conversation with this staff member, or this experience when I was having this conversation with this project or this client. And it all sort of started coming back to me. And towards mid-January, my wife goes back to her job, and a week later she comes back and she's like, Dave, I'm getting a little concerned about you because I leave you at 7 in the morning, and then I come back 6 or 7 in the evening, and you're sitting at the same spot. The house is exactly the same as if nothing has moved. Should I be concerned about you? Uh, and honestly, at this stage, I wasn't writing anything that would be called a book, even by a distance or by a mile. But I had this moment when I felt, I think I might have written a book. And I could see her concern with her head in her hands, and she's like, Dave, I'm concerned about you. With that statement that you might have written a book, either you have or either you haven't. There is nothing might there. And I said, no, I haven't written a book. I mean, I've been writing this stuff, and it feels like there is a common pattern. There is a common story. There is stuff that I want to say and I want to talk about, and it's starting to make sense. Would you please read this book? And similar to the US's 4th of July, we have Australia Day, 26th of January. It's summer here, and it's bright summer morning. And I'm sitting with everything printed and shaking like a little kid and anxious and bit excited. And I'm like, hey, here's what I've printed everything for you. It's Australia. You promised me, would you read this book today? She's like, yes, I would. Give me a coffee and walk away. Take the dog for a walk. Just don't hover around here, and come back in 3 hours time. 3 hours later, I come back and I can see her flicking pages, and all I can see is red smudges and cross marks and notes everywhere. Uh, for the first, and like I sat down, and as it sinks, the feeling, I'm like, this is not going to be pretty. She helped me to walk away from what was my safe position, and she encouraged me. Here's where she's not going to give me on a silver platter. She's going to give it to me straight. And she did. She was like, because I love you, if and just because I have courage to persevere and sort of get through these for 7 pages. But by the way, these 7 pages, they are crime on literature. Don't show it to anyone. Take them away, burn them, whatever you want to do. And it makes sense because I did not start because I was writing book. I was just dealing with my own emotional thoughts and just processing what I was feeling. Um, and she said, but somehow if I can get to like 8th or 9th page, uh, there is a story to tell. There is something deep that will help the society, and you are saying something really um, loud here. And what I'll tell you is, I think you should work on it. It's going to be so much hard work, but my advice will be keep working on it. And I think that moment was the one that sort of hinged me, and I was like, okay, if she says, I'm going to believe, and I'm going to continue working on it. And from that point, we started reaching out to amazing, people, and my editor Michael from New York, and designer Jennifer from Canada, and sort of we started coming together as a team, and we started
An
pitching these ideas.
international team.
Yes, so much better team, because I was thinking maybe 10,000 words a book, and somebody said 10,000 words, might it's a manual, at the best it's a coffee table book, it's not a book. And then they helped me shape these ideas. It's almost 70,000 words book now. It's a real book. We received first proof copies earlier this week,
Very
and
exciting.
it's all becoming real. And now we have a PR team, publicist team. Everyone's excited about it because the ideas are real. No matter what you do, no matter you are a mom, you're a dad, no matter you are a brother, no matter you're running a small community organization, the ideas in the book basically connect you to deep human sense of what it means to be a leader, and how you can connect with your team, and how you can achieve amazing results by just tapping into your humanness. And by all means, like I said, I've done my MBA, I've done fair share of my corporate life. By no means I'm saying all of the skills are not relevant to be a leader. I'm not saying that, to be a leader, you gotta know your game, you gotta know your technical skills, you gotta learn your soft skills, and it's a huge process. But like an onion, when you peel all the layers of the onion, at the
Mhm.
core of it, it's literally the three things. Number one, how connected you are with your purpose. And that means that, sort of by extension, your organization, your team. Number two, how ready are you to deal with things that are constantly changing? It's not about a perfect plan. It's not about having a fixed map and saying step one, step two, step three. It's about how you know your game, but at the same time, how you can constantly see things changing that are at the horizon and you can see it before anybody. And the third thing is being a decisive, courageous leader. You can have an amazing vision. You can have an amazing master plan for that sake. But if you can't translate that into action when you need it, it's no good. It's as good as not having one, or any. So that's what book is about. And yeah, we have a launch coming in about 4 weeks time, and teams working on it right now. And I can't be more excited to share my ideas with the world. And I'm confident that all of these ideas will resonate with people, because in the end we are humans,
Mhm.
and leadership is such an essential human part of who we are.
Absolutely. So where would they find the book, Dave?
Book will be available of all platforms, Amazon. If you hear Audible, through Amazon,
Mhm.
Kindle. Hopefully, book will be available in your local store. So yes, wherever you find your books,
So
everywhere.
Captain Set Sail. It's a great leadership book for you to get your hands on. Thank you for putting that out into the world, Dave, and following your passion and your purpose. So if you're out there thinking, wait, I have a purpose, I could help improve someone's personal life, I could help someone grow their business. Well, come on, get on our show. What are you waiting for? It has been great to have you on the show today, Dave, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
It has been great, Jess. I think for me, coming to this show, it's often like you have to prepare, you have to think about what you'll say and share, because you got to respect your audience. But for me, it feels like it's just a fun conversation I'm having. I think I've laughed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very good. So, before we say goodbye, and before we close out today, I would love for you to share a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
Final thought that I can leave your audience with is being a navigator. Um, like I said in the book, the title comes out as Captain Set Sail. What this world is, as if we are, as collective human society, we are sailing um, on this massive ship,
Mhm.
and we have to look after each other.
Mhm.
That means caring for people in your family, caring for people who work for you, caring for your friends. And when you start connecting with everything and all your surroundings, you will find a common element of care that will come towards you. And once you're connected to that care and love, um, it's fascinating how amazing your work life becomes, how amazing you start enjoying your work. You spend uh, more than half your day when you're awake with your workmates. Might
Mhm.
as well connect with them at a deeper human level, and cherish and enjoy the time. And once you start really start enjoying what you're doing, and once you start finding fun in there, um, life is basically all fun. I think the concept of work-life balance is overrated. And not that, I'm not in favor of, set working times and all of that needs to happen. But if you enjoy what you do, if you enjoy your work with whom you do and share this time and work with, it's all fun.
Hmm. I love that. So, enjoy what you do and the people you do it with. That's the message I hear from Dave today. I'm your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. And until next time, everyone, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.